Today I stand with essentially all the members in the government side, save and except for two individuals who have leave of absence. Secretary James took a personal trip, taking his daughter out to university in Ireland. So that's personal. And Secretary Boris is pretty much on her way back to the island as we speak. And unavoidably, they could not be here with us today. But certainly their support is with us. Allow me to address a few matters quickly that will facilitate answering some of your questions before you even ask them. For starters, I want to congratulate the newly elected Deputy Chief Secretary. And if you're wondering about my objection to the seconding of the nomination by the councillors actually have no locus standi when it comes to voting for either Chief Secretary or a Deputy Chief Secretary. When a Chief Secretary and a Deputy Chief Secretary is being elected, they are being elected from among the elected members of the House by the elected members of the House. Therefore, if you are not allowed to vote for a Chief Secretary and a Deputy Chief Secretary, you similarly cannot be part of the nomination process. That's just common sense, which I hope everyone had. But more than that, that's solid legal standing. And so in the absence of a seconder to the nomination by the minority leader, the nomination that I placed on the floor remained unchallenged, hence the declaration of Dr. B. Israel as the new Deputy Chief Secretary. Secondly, I wish to point out that I have been very deliberate in my communication with the media and with the public. In fact, since this debacle started, I gave one press conference, one radio interview, and one newspaper interview. That's all I gave. My silence, which I treat as being golden, I think was absolutely necessary to ensure that the business of governing Tobago did not get muddied with all of the back and forth. And I did not think that the back and forth was necessary, given some of what we're hearing in this space are unfounded. Well, all of what we're hearing in this space is really unfounded. Just to make some things clear, number one, I have not been to the EBC, certainly not as yet, but I have not had any visits with the EBC or meetings with the EBC, either in person or by proxy, and I needed to make that clear. Secondly, I wish to use this platform to categorically denounce and deny some extremely wild allegations that I have seen made by the now former Deputy Chief Secretary with regards to collecting bribes or collecting monies elsewhere. Let me indicate that I have already been in consultations with my lawyers, inclusive of a King's Counsel. Yes, we're no longer treating with Queen's Counsels, inclusive of a King's Counsel and I intend to pursue legal action that will treat with that matter, which means that I will not be wasting precious time to debate these falsehoods in the public space. Thirdly, after the oath of office is taken, because Dr. B. Israel is only the Deputy Chief Secretary-elect, after the oath is taken, I will be in a position to issue a release that will indicate how we will treat with the responsibilities that were previously assigned to that of the Deputy Chief Secretary. Because Dr. B. Israel will retain her secretarialship of the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, in addition to the title of Deputy Chief Secretary. But there are some extremely critical areas that the Office of the Deputy Chief Secretary was charged with managing that has to be managed post-haste, one of which includes the matter of Tobago's autonomy, which we are seeing is resurfacing now in this upcoming parliamentary session. I am in a position to advise that I have taken on, and that's what past participle, I have taken on as some advisors in the space, and I can tell you these advisors are gratis for the most part, meaning that they're not charging me any money or the Tobago House of Assembly any money. In this space, Mr. Hotroy Charles, Miss Ingrid Melville, and Mr. Alan Richards, who I have been meeting with and who have been giving me some advice, in particular with the matter treating with autonomy. And almost immediately, that grouping will expand to include all voices. And one of the things we will do almost immediately is to bring all the voices in one room, whether you are secessionists, whether you don't believe in any autonomy at all, in one room, without any camera, lights, or microphone, and certainly no bullhorns, so that we could talk this thing out and ensure that we are, as Tobago as an island, we are going forward with one singular position on the matter of autonomy. Let me also bring to your attention the fact that a lot of what you see in this space, all of these noises, are actually sponsored noises, and I have not just reliable information, but irrefutable evidence that a lot of this is sponsored by those who do not want to see me bring before the Tobago public matters concerning the audit report, which I will be delivering to the people of Tobago come Thursday. Come hell or high water, it will be brought to the public's attention and in full view of the public come Thursday. And when I give much more comprehensive report on that audit, you will understand where not only do we have correlation, but where we have direct causation of these noises. And I am so happy that God got our back, because if I wasn't strong, I might have walked away from all of this and allow the corruption to continue. But we will treat with that head on, and you will get an even clearer picture as to what transpired over the last 2 weeks and where we need to go. So again, just to reiterate, one, I have not been to EBC, nor has anybody been to EBC on my behalf. Secondly, I am categorically denying all of the claims that were made about bribery, corruption, and some wild and, what I must say, hysterical allegations about toting money through airport. I don't know if they understand that my bags are always checked in Trinidad coming to Tobago. I don't know if they are not supposed to check it, but my bags are always checked for some reason, and I always allow it because I am not toting anything that is a contraband. Thirdly, subsequent to the oath of office, you will get a release about how we will dispense with the responsibilities associated with the office of the Deputy Chief Secretary. Then the fourth thing is that with regards to the sitting on Thursday, I will make that it's a regular meeting of the House, but I will take that opportunity to give an extensive report on the audit findings that we have to date and the step forward, the steps that we have to take forward. And I will be presenting to Tobago some very landmark solutions in terms of how we ought to treat with those matters on the island. At this point, I will take your questions, bear in mind that we do have a 12:25 flight. I know that there is dissonance in the space about who should give the oath. Some individuals, like my good friend Mr. Charles, believe the oath should be given by the presiding officer. Some believe the legal opinion and advice that the president gave the last time we were at this juncture was that the president should be giving the oath. And so today, both the president and the presiding officer will be present for this oath. So we ensure that that is dispensed with. And just in case you wish to ask, all lawyers with sense and any knowledge of law has dismissed as a nuisance the letter that came in the dead of night seeking to stop the sitting today. If those lawyers had any grounds to stand on, they would have gone to court bright and early this morning to seek injunctive relief. And the fact that that did not happen tells you that they are making an argument for form over substance, which holds no water when it comes to law. So, questions?
Mr. Chief Secretary, just wanted to know from you, is this the end of the PDP? And my other question, in terms of Mr. Duke, because you said that you intend to take legal action, is it that you already have prepared or sent off a pre-action protocol letter?
The pre-action protocol letter is being prepared as we speak. The full video clipping of his presentation on the 15th, along with an official transcript, was done, and the lawyers are preparing the documents, and when that is done, you will certainly have a copy of same. As for your first question, I will hope that you direct that to the chairman of the party, Dr. Sean Ned. He'll be in a better position to answer that. At this point, I am just so grateful that Mr. Robinson and those that crafted Act 40 of 1996 got one thing extremely right, which is that when it comes to the operations of the Tobago House of Assembly, the operation of a political party has nothing to do with that. Separation of political party from the matter of governance, and it allows us in the truest sense to demonstrate to the country that country comes before party. Yes? Yes, sir?
Sorry, I just want to follow up on that quick point
Sure.
on the PDP. So are you all going to remain members of the PDP from your end?
Well, at this point, we are still members of the PDP. I was removed as deputy political leader, and the last time I checked, I'm still an ordinary member of the party. Where that goes, you will need to direct that to the chairman of the party, in terms of where that goes.
Have you submitted a resignation from
No, I have not written any resignations.
My question is for Dr. B. Israel. How do you plan to execute your new portfolio given your existing one?
Certainly. Well, as the Chief Sec indicated, I will continue being the Secretary with responsibility for health, wellness, and social protection, and that I will continue doing. I will work closely with the Chief Sec and my other colleagues. If there are other responsibilities handed to me, I'm sure we'll be able to work it out, and we would ensure that Tobago gets the best governance that Tobago deserves.
Thank you. Any other questions? Right. Yes, Master George.
Somehow that seems like I get set up. Do you know, sir, as the deputy leader of the PDP, if the PDP has any debt? And if the PDP has any debt,
I am no
who
longer,
now owns that debt?
I am no longer deputy political leader of the party. Based on the party's constitution, the deputy political leaders are appointed by the elected political leader, and he exercised that right at the last National Executive Council meeting I attended. In terms of debt, of course, I imagine, like all other political parties in the space, the debt remains, and there are debts that we have been paying down incrementally as we receive monies, and as we get paid in some instances.
So those debts are now to the account of the owner of the party?
Well, more than definitely. Because if you own the party and you proudly say so, it means that you own all assets and liabilities. It just goes without saying. That's a natural thing. So thank you, members of the media. We will brief you subsequent to the oath of office. I wish to just take this one opportunity to say thank you to the people of Tobago. And let me tell you why. When this debacle started, I sat quiet for a while and was wondering how Tobagonians would treat with this matter. But everywhere I went, I kept getting the same response over and over again from Tobagonians. And it was twofold. On one instance, they were saying two words, stay strong. And the second instance, they were all saying some variety of, we're praying for you, we're with you, don't worry, this is going to work out. And it tells me that Tobagonians are rational, reasonable, logically thinking, smart people who understands how to separate things. And so I want to give a nudge, an ode to a very intelligent population that is Tobago. And thank you for your continued support on behalf of the team. And I assure you, we will not disappoint as the very progressive agenda and progressive delivery will continue at perhaps an even greater pace, and now that this matter is being cleared. So thank you and Godspeed.